Okay, so I formally welcome you to the Yantra 2020 conference, Swamiji. This is an international conference organized by Nimhans, Bengaluru. The aim of the conference is to bring different schools of yoga on a common platform and then understand their traditions and the approaches through which they can be integrated towards the welfare of the humanity. Now I invite my colleague, Miss Raksha, who is a yoga therapist in our department, to kindly introduce Swamiji.
Thank you, Hemant sir. First of all, welcome Swamiji. It's our privilege to have you here. A brief introduction about Swamiji. Swami Ishwarananda Giri is a senior monk of Yogoda Satsanga Society of India, which was founded by Paramahansa Yogananda, who is the author of the spiritual classic autobiography of a yogi. Swamiji received his MBBS degree from Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi, and his MD degree in respiratory diseases and tuberculosis from Vallabhai Patel Chest Institute, Delhi. In 1988, he joined Yogoda Satsanga Society of India as a monk and has since served in the ashram in different capacities during the last 32 years. Since 1988, Swami Ishwaranandaji has been living in the YSS ashrams at Ranchi, Dakshineshwar and Noida. From 2002 to 2007, he had the good fortune of serving at the international headquarters at Los Angeles, USA, during which time he had the opportunity to speak at several self-realization fellowship temples in the US. Presently, Swamiji is serving at the Ranchi ashram. We welcome you, Swamiji, and the session is open for you. Thank you.
Namaskar. I feel very privileged and honored to address and be part of this august company, who I think are mainly doctors and clinicians and psychologists who are wanting to understand more about yoga, the different disciplines of yoga, and how it can benefit humanity in general, and perhaps with particular reference to its application to your individual disciplines, whatever fields of medicine you are following. So as Raksha ji mentioned, I am a follower of Kriya Yoga, the path of Kriya Yoga, which was founded by Paramahansa Yogananda, the author of the book Autobiography of a Yogi. And so today I will like to talk about the devotional and the spiritual aspect of yoga, not so much the yogasanas, which you have been having sessions of. I had joined one session yesterday where the Kundalini Yoga was being demonstrated. So today, my focus will be on trying to explain to you, not explain, but introduce the real purpose of yoga and how Kriya Yoga achieves this. And also at the end, I'll lead you all in a 15-20 minute session of guided meditation. Because unless one has a practical experience, unless one has even a little bit of taste of it, one cannot understand what meditation is all about. So this will be the program today, and at the end, we will have a brief question and answer session. So I would like to share a PowerPoint presentation with you. Can you enable me as a host so that I can share?
Swamiji, I think you should be able to do it.
Yeah, yes. Now I can. Can you all see?
Yes.
Okay. So, Kriya Yoga Is there a reverberation going on? I can hear my own voice going back to me. Maybe all those who are participating, if they can mute their mics, it will help. Yeah, now it's gone. Thank you. So this PowerPoint presentation I had prepared for another talk. So, and the title of the talk was Kriya Yoga, Ancient Science for a Modern Age. Essentially, this slideshow gives an introduction to as I said, the spiritual aspect of yoga, how yoga helps us in our daily life and also in our human evolution, and why is it a science? Now, today, there are so many yoga practitioners. In North America alone, there are 18 million. I don't know whether we have any statistics about the number of yoga practitioners in India. There will be so many. And the yoga is now so popular that the world has decided to dedicate one day to yoga on June 21st, and we call it the International Day of Yoga. But the point is, do people really know what is yoga? What is the real meaning of yoga? So let us start by understanding what is not yoga. That is the complete yoga. See, when we say yoga, people think in terms of Surya Namaskars, yoga asanas, and things like that. That is a part of yoga, but it is not the full picture of yoga. Is it just about physical fitness? Is the purpose of yoga just to enhance our physical fitness, to be healthy? Is it just a breathing exercise to increase our lung power and stay healthy and free from disease? Not so. Now, we all know, and I think you know more than me, you must have read much more about how yoga meditation can help us physically and also mentally. It has now been proven to reduce stress. It helps overcome depression and mood swings. And now you have scientific evidence which has been recorded, which has been documented by CT scans and MRIs, where they have shown structural changes in the brain. And all of you know more about this than I do. So there is no doubt that yoga, in whatever way, and especially meditation, yogasanas also, but yoga meditation specifically affects our brain, not only just the mentally or just the functioning of the brain, but also actually the physical part. It changes the brain structurally. It changes our outlook towards life. It makes it more positive. And now we're all hearing this word neuroplasticity. That means even if the brain is damaged, it can repair itself. Or a person can learn new skills, can learn new things, even at a later age, which previously it was thought it was not possible. So, and yoga meditation has been known to help and encourage and promote neuroplasticity. So all this is known. But then, is yoga just this? Is it just about enhancing the brain health, remaining healthy, living for a longer period of time? Or is there more to yoga? Yoga is a science which teaches, first and foremost, what is the purpose of human life and how to achieve it. It also teaches us the important skill of balancing our feeling and intellect, our right and left brain, balancing our feminine and masculine natures. The science of yoga, or the Yoga Shastra, it recognizes both the feeling aspect and the reasoning aspect of our mind, or brain, you can say. And practicing yoga gives a perfect balance between the two, which gives rise to another faculty, which is called intuition. I'll be talking about that later, but I would like to flag it here so that we can expand on it further. So the reason for balancing our feeling and intellect is because that is the condition when the hidden intuition becomes manifest. And why intuition is necessary, we will talk about that later. Through the practice of yoga meditation, we can be free of physical diseases, We can be free of mental harmonies and also recognize our true nature. That means we can also remove the ignorance about our soul, which is our true nature. And it also increases our willpower and gives us the power to overcome habits. We all know that habits are tyrants, especially those who are suffering from terrible habits like addictions or anger. We know that not only that person's life, but the entire family's life can get ruined because of these habits. So yoga meditation can help us get rid of our very serious and troublesome habits too. So that is the real purpose and the benefit of practicing yoga. How does it do it? It helps to hasten our human evolution. It develops even-mindedness and a feeling of contentment. Feeling of contentment is something which even the beginner who begins meditating, he feels this. He finds that when he starts meditating every day for a month, 2 months, there is an increase in that feeling of contentment, a feeling of fulfillment. He feels that he's always happy, he's always full of joy, and he doesn't need external entertainment or external stimuli to get that feeling of happiness. And because it enables us to increase our willpower, enables us to overcome our habits, it can help us to master our own lives, and we can even change our destinies. You know, when Paramahansa Yogananda first went to the West, people did not understand him. Looking at his strange costume and turban and long hair, they thought he was a fortune teller. So many people asked him, "Are you a fortune teller?" And Yogananda would reply, "No, but I teach people how to mend their fortunes." So you see, yoga, especially the meditative part of the yoga, gives you control over your life. It gives you control over emotions, control over your thoughts, by which you can shape your own destiny. You are a master of your own consciousness. That is yoga. So yoga is not just a set of exercises, not a specific way of breathing. It is a way of life. It is a lifestyle. And actually the word yoga, as most of you will know, means union. Yoga means union, union of two things. And specifically, yoga here in this context means union of the soul with spirit or God. Or in Vedantic terms, it is union of Atma with Paramatma or Brahma. So what is the purpose of human life? Very briefly, I think nobody can deny that if you analyze any action of ours, all our actions can be reduced to two goals. Our actions have two goals. One is either we do something to avoid pain or to experience joy. You analyze anything, whether it is earning money or studying and educating ourselves, earning degrees, marrying, having a family, whatever we do, the goal, the purpose of all those actions is either to avoid pain or experience joy. So when our rishis, our saints analyzed this, they came to a great but simple truth that it is for joy that we are always striving for. What we are looking for in our life, or in a way, the purpose of life is to always be in a state of joy. And who can deny that? They also explain this further. They clarify this. They tell us that joy is not ordinary happiness. I will not go too deep into the psychological aspect of it, but very briefly, ordinary happiness is subject to the law of diminishing returns. That means if one car gives you, say, X amount of happiness, two cars will not give you 2x amount of happiness. Rather, it may be x by 2, because the more number of cars you have so many more cars to maintain, so many more headaches. So the joy you get from material things actually keeps diminishing the more you get them, whether it is money or possessions or food, whatever it is. So ordinary happiness is subjected to law of diminishing returns. But the native joy of the soul joy is causeless. It has no cause. It is there. It is our nature. We are joy. So since it is causeless, it never reduces. It remains always the same. Rather, it keeps increasing, because that joy, the rishis found, is not only eternal, but endless. It is infinite. So the great truth the rishis found is that the source of joy is within, not without. You see, again, the outside thing, whether it is food or possessions, buildings, cars, if they were the source of joy, the more we had those things, the joy should increase, but it does not. Because joy is something that is experienced within. So that is it is a simple thing, but we keep forgetting that. So as I said, causeless joy never ends. So the conclusion is what the rishis tell us: the goal of human life is to be able to always experience this, the ever existing, the ever conscious, ever new joy. And that is what they call as Sat Chit Anand, which is another name for God. So that is the yogic definition of God. God is ever existing, ever conscious, ever new joy. So anyone who is seeking joy is seeking God. And that is the reason one rishi said that there is no atheist. Everyone is a person who is following some religion, because everyone wants joy and God is joy. And the same thing has been captured here in Taittiriya Upanishad. From joy we come, for joy we live, and in that sacred joy we shall melt again. So that is the purpose of human life, to be able to experience this omnipresent joy of the spirit, of which we are a small part. God is the ocean of joy, and we are a small wave. But the wave is not separate from the ocean. So the wave can experience the expansion of the ocean if it forgets its identity as the wave. So if this ocean of joy is there, why is it that we don't experience it? And the rishis tell us there is a simple reason for that. It is ignorance. Ignorance that there is such a state of consciousness where you can experience endless joy. And that ignorance comes because we are wrongly identified with the body. We think that we are this body. Even now, when you are listening to me, isn't it true that it is very difficult for us to even imagine that we are anything but the body? So such strong identification with the body is very difficult to overcome. And that is the purpose of yoga meditation, to overcome this narrow sense of identification of our consciousness with our body. But when we are able to do that, then we experience that causeless joy. Another reason why we don't know about the joy is we have no sense of comparison. Nothing in this world can give that joy except the practice of meditation, the practice of going within mentally, withdrawing our mind from the body and establishing ourselves in the soul. So very briefly, the theory behind yoga is, as long as we are in the active waking state, our entire attention is hijacked by these five senses. So we do not know that there is anything other than this external world. However, there is a time rather a large portion of every day when these senses are not active. And that is that 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So rishis studied this phenomenon of sleep, and they found that in sleep, when we are not body conscious, when we completely forget our body, we still know that we are there. At some deep level, that consciousness is still there. And that state is enjoyable. Who doesn't like deep sleep? And why is that? Because sleep is that automatic mechanism of the soul by which it withdraws itself from the body and rests in its own nature. But it is not under our control. Sleep is an automatic phenomenon. Now, yoga meditation achieves a state of conscious sleep. It is not that it is a way of putting ourselves in some kind of a coma, but it is called sleep because we rise above body consciousness. But at the same time, we are not sleeping. We are fully conscious of that bodiless state. And in that state, when we rise above body consciousness, we are able to experience our true nature, which is joy. So I won't go into the details. The path which we follow, the Kriya Yoga path, is based on Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, which has 8 steps. And I have listed them here. We will not go into the details of that. The final 3, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, they are the end result, the goal of this meditation. Now, I'll go back to one previous slide. Most of today's yoga focuses on asana, that is yogic postures. But actually in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, asana is simply defined as any position in which your body is comfortable and is still. It doesn't matter which asana you are practicing, but it is meant to keep the body still, relaxed, and comfortable. Pranayam, many people understand by this word pranayam only different kinds of breathing exercises or deep breathing. But actually, the yogis, they explain that pranayam means control, yam of prana. And prana they explain as the invisible electricity, the invisible life energy, which keeps this body alive, which is functioning to keep all the various body functions going. So we are dealing with that invisible electricity in this pranayam. And since that life energy, which we cannot see, is closely linked to the process of breathing, most of the pranayamic techniques use breath as a means to obtain control over the hidden prana, which is behind the breath. So that is the science behind pranayama. Now, through this pranayama and asana, and then these are the steps, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, the final goal of meditation is to be so completely absorbed in that inner state of joy, inner state of stillness, that you are completely unaware of the outside world. So Kriya Yoga, very briefly, how does it work? It is an advanced technique of pranayama. Now, how can breathing help? One may ask. We all know we have 2 types of bodily functions. One is the voluntary and the other is the involuntary function. The voluntary functions are controlled by the motor nerves and the involuntary by the parasympathetic system. That is the internal organs and all, blood circulation, beating of the heart and all that. But if you notice, there is one bodily function which is under the control of both, and that is breathing. The process of breathing is, for the most part, automatic. It is involuntary. Even now, when you're listening to me, you're not consciously making an effort to breathe. It is happening on its own. But at the same time, it is fully under our control. So perhaps because of this, breathing gives us a window by which voluntarily we can gain access to our involuntary system, to our heart, to our internal organs. And by regulated rhythmic breathing and certain visualizations we do while breathing, we are able to obtain control over the internal processes. So that is what Kriya Yoga does. Through the process of rhythmic breathing and a certain kind of visualization in which we visualize the life energy revolving around the spine, we are able to gain access to the internal functions, to the internal energy centers, and we are able to calm the breath and mind. And today, science also gives proof that mind and breath, they are both related. When mind and breath are tied to each other, that means when you observe your breathing, through some biofeedback mechanism, they calm each other. Mind calms your breath and breath calms your mind. We are talking about this life energy. It is the life energy is the bridge between our soul and this body. So when we are able to withdraw this life energy from all the bodily organs and take it into the spine, then we become aware of our inner energy centers, which are also called the chakras. And they are the higher centers of consciousness. So those energy centers in the spine, which all have a different name, I will not go into details, but when our energy gets pulled up, we are able to bring it up to those higher centers of consciousness are awakened, and we become aware of a different dimension of our existence, a different expansion of our consciousness. So this is just a enumeration of all those centers. We will not go into the details. So very briefly, how does Kriya Yoga work? It hastens the human evolution. It develops our intuition. It gives us an inner experience of the inner joy. And Kriya Yoga practice also modifies the habit patterns and the neuronal patterns in our brain and mind also. Evolution of life, you see, according to the yogic science, the soul passes through many forms, and after many incarnations in minerals, plants, and animals, it reaches the human body. And the next step is the stage of Superman. What is the difference between us and the Superman? In the Superman, or the awakened saint, his intuition is fully awake. So we need to understand more about this intuition. You see, how do we get information about our world? How do we know that we exist? It is because of our senses. So our knowledge about this world comes from two very well-known sources. One is called direct observation or pratyaksha. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you taste, that is your direct experience. And second is called anuman, which is inference. So you extrapolate. For example, if you, even though you don't see a person, if you hear a person's voice over the phone, you can extrapolate, you can infer that the other person is at the other end of the phone. So even though your senses are not able to, your eyes are not able to see it, you infer. So that is another way of knowledge. But the third method is intuition, and it is called agama, which means that knowledge which comes of its own. It has no source. It is not dependent upon the senses. And the rishis tell us that this causeless joy which we experience, the joy of sleep which we experience, all comes through the action of this intuition. And it is through this intuition we experience God. Because this state of consciousness is beyond the senses, it is beyond the body consciousness. And it is through this power of intuition we have so many stories of the miraculous powers. Now, the yogic science is predominantly a science which helps us to manifest this intuition. How? Intuition is native to our soul. It is our natural, inheritance. But it gets clouded because of restless thoughts in our mind and a restless breath because of anxiety, fear, and all those moods and emotions. So when our mind is calm and concentrated, like early morning when we get up from a deep sleep, when our breath is calm after yoga meditation, when reason and feeling are balanced, you see, when we have prejudices, then our intuition is clouded. When our reasoning is faulty, our intuition is clouded. So they need to be perfectly balanced. And when our mind is free of desire, because the desire can also cloud our intuition. So when all these conditions are met, then intuition manifests. And yoga meditation, Kriya Yoga meditation, helps us achieve these conditions. Our mind becomes calm, breath becomes calm, reason and feeling get balanced. Our mind is free of all prejudices. We have a sense of fulfillment and deep joy, so no desires are there. And because the life energy is withdrawn into the spine, we rise above the consciousness of the body and are able to expand that consciousness beyond the body. So there is this Andrew Newberg, and he said this. He said, when somebody is in deep meditation, there are changes in different parts of the brain. And what they found is that during deep meditation, there is a substantial decrease in the activity in a part of the brain, which normally creates this sense of ego or sense of self or body consciousness. So what they found is in deep meditation, that part of the brain becomes less active. So there is a physical evidence that meditation helps us rise above this body consciousness or ego consciousness and helps us connect with the consciousness which is pervading all over the world, which is the spirit of God. This is our line of gurus. So that, in short, is the theory behind Kriya Yoga. To summarize, Kriya Yoga or any yoga meditation which has been formulated, which has been discovered for self-realization, for understanding our true nature, it accomplishes these things. One, it calms our mind. It makes our body still. It helps us to withdraw energy from the bodily organs into the spine. And through that process, it awakens our intuition. And through that intuition, we are able to realize our true nature, which is that we are not this body. We are not just a bundle of muscles and bones, but actually we are pure consciousness that is temporarily residing in this house made of muscle and bones. So when we actually experience that, then our whole perspective changes towards life, towards others, towards our goals in life. And it is a complete sea change. It can completely transform one's way of thinking. But it all begins by practicing meditation. Theory will only take you so far. So the meditative path of yoga is an experiential path. It is not a theoretical path. So now let us have this guided meditation. Or how would you want to do it? Do you want me to take questions at this stage, or should we go with guided meditation?
Swamiji, we will do the meditation now, and then we will take question and answers.
All right. Okay. So there are certain things. Before you all join me, I would like to show you what is to be done. First of all, the posture, the asana, how you should sit. It doesn't matter whether you sit on the floor or in a chair. If you're able to sit on the floor, cross-legged with a Padmasana, very good, because Padmasana helps you to keep your body still. But if you're not even able to sit on the floor, you can sit on a chair. the most important thing is to keep the spine straight. So the method to do that is, if you have a chair with the back, just come a little forward so that your back is not touching the back of the chair. Straighten your spine. And to do that, you pull up your spine, but keep your body relaxed. You have these shoulder blades behind. Take back your shoulder blades and then try to touch them at the back, but then you relax. You relax. Keep your neck straight. How do you know your neck is straight? Your chin should be parallel to the ground. That means your head should not be too bent too back, nor should it be drooping forward. The chin is parallel to the ground. Your eyes are closed and they are focused at the point between the eyebrows in the forehead here. This is called the Kutastha. That is the position of the Agnya chakra, the sixth chakra in the spine. So you gently raise your eyes. You don't have to force yourself. Both the eyes will automatically focus at only one spot. You cannot focus on two different spots anyway. So you just gently lift your eyes and try to look at a spot just above your eyebrows on your forehead. And with practice, these eyes will automatically get locked there. But it takes some time. Initially, when you try, you may see that the eyes are coming down. So as often as the eyes come down, you lift them again and focus them here. Because the reason is, by focusing both the optical currents to this at this Agnya chakra, you are activating that chakra. You're opening up the chakra. And many times when you are successful, when you go deep in meditation, you are able to see light here, golden light, blue light, and also white light. So that is a, you get a direct experience of that chakra here when you go deep in meditation. So this is the position you assume. Once again, keep the body still, pull up the spine, make it straight, draw your shoulder blades back so that they are touching each other, but then don't keep them tensed. Pull them back to straighten the spine, but then let go. Neck should be straight, chin parallel to the ground, eyes focused at the Kutastha. So this is the position we will assume. In this position, you open your eyes and watch me first. In this position, what we have to do is, first of all, we relax all the tension in the body. The secret to deep meditation is a relaxed body. If there is any tension in the body, your consciousness is still locked up in the body. One principle of yoga is, where your energy is, there is your consciousness. So if your energy is locked as muscle tension in the body, you cannot rise above body consciousness. So as much as possible, you have to let go of all tension in the body. So how do you do that? The principle is, you inhale and gradually increase the tension from low tension to high tension. It may seem paradoxical, but to let go of the tension, you first raise the tension. And then you exhale through the mouth in a double exhalation and let go of all the tension in a jerk, all of a sudden. So when you tense, you gradually inhale through the nose. And as you are inhaling, you keep on building tension from low tension to medium tension to high tension. And as you are increasing tension, you're also inhaling. So both these things are happening simultaneously. You are inhaling through the nose gradually, and at the same time, gradually building up the tension in the entire body. When I say entire body, it means from the tips of your toes to your neck, which includes your toes, your feet, your calves, your thighs, your buttocks, your abdominal muscles, your chest muscles, the muscles of your forearms, of your upper arms, the pectoral muscles, and the neck muscles. So all of these muscle groups, you tense simultaneously, gradually build the tension. So to increase the tension in the arms, you make the fists like this and gradually tighten the fists. But of course, you keep your hands here. So now low, medium, and high. What is meant by high tension? I don't know whether my arm is visible here. I don't know. Let me see. See, when I make a fist, this is just a light fist. It is light tension. Okay. When I increase the tension, it is medium tension. But when I really increase the tension, it vibrates. It vibrates a little bit. That is high tension. So you have to raise the body tension from low to medium to high tension gradually as you are inhaling, And once you reach the high tension, but that means your entire body is slightly vibrating, you hold the tension to a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you throw out all the air through your mouth in a double exhalation. Double exhalation is one short exhalation followed by a longer exhalation, like this. So when you exhale through the mouth in a double exhalation, simultaneously let go of all the tension in all parts of the body in one go. So when you are tensing, you gradually build the tension. When you relax, you let go of the tension all of a sudden. So this is how you completely relax the body. And we'll do this together 3 times. I will call out and all of you will do it. I'll just show you how it is done. So now I am inhaling through the nose and gradually building the tension. I have reached the high tension. Now I'll relax and double exhale. I'll show you once more. So we'll all do this together. Don't do it right now. So this is tensing and relaxing the body. Then after this, we will do a rhythmic breathing of what we call as 20-20-20 breathing exercise. That means we inhale gradually through the nose up to a count of 20 or 10 or 6 or 8, whatever is comfortable. The count being 2 counts per second. So that means we inhale up to 10 seconds. We hold the breath up to 10 seconds. And then we exhale through the mouth slowly for 10 seconds. So the duration is the same. So 20-20-20. After exhaling, we don't stop. We start the next cycle of inhalation. So inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale. So that is the rhythm. So we will do this. Usually we are supposed to do this 6 to 12 times, but for now we'll do it 3 times together. I'll do the counting. You will, as I call out, you will just follow what I'm saying. When I say inhale, you inhale. When I say hold, you hold. When I say exhale, you exhale. But remember, you inhale through the nose, you exhale through the mouth. Okay. So this is, so first tension and relaxation, then 20-20-20 breathing. After that, we throw out all the air through the mouth, and then we remain still. We keep the body completely still. And our mind also, we keep it calm. And then what do? We watch the breath. So once we exhale and then we are still, let the breath come in on its own. On its own, without any control. You let go. When the breath comes, just observe it coming into your body. When the breath flows out, just watch it going out. Like an observer. So it is called Sakshi Bhav, like a Sakshi, like a witness. As if you are witnessing or observing someone else breathing. So just like you have no control over somebody else's breathing, you have to assume that you have dissociated yourself from this body. You're not this body. this is somebody else's body and you're observing this body breathing, just observing it, not controlling it. So the reason for doing this is, by this, we gradually detach our consciousness from our body. And we realize that that sense of I-ness, or the sense of the consciousness, is independent of the bodily processes. So maybe for the first time, we realize I'm not the body. I am consciousness residing in the body. So it is very essential to be successful in this particular pranayamic technique when we are observing the breath, not to control it. If it comes rapidly, let it. If it slows down, let it. If it stops, let it. So don't control it at all. So then we keep on observing. We'll do this for 3 minutes. So it is a simple technique. As I said, this is not Kriya Yoga. This is a preliminary pranayam to prepare our mind for Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is a technique which we cannot reveal publicly because of certain old injunction. It has to be taught one-on-one. So through a proper, guru-disciple kind of a relationship. But even this pranayam, which is a simple pranayam, is very powerful if done correctly. So we practice this for 3 minutes, and then after that, we will, when our mind calms down, we will do a visualization technique by which we can expand our consciousness and understand what is meant by omnipresence. So this will be our program now for the next 15 minutes. So assume the correct posture. Keep the body still, keep the spine straight, keep the neck straight, chin parallel to the ground, eyes closed and focused. Gently lift the eyes and focus them at the point between the eyebrows. Now calm yourself. Just let go of all thoughts. Now, as I call out, all of you will do inhale and tense and double exhale and relax. So first start by throwing out the breath. Now start inhaling. I'll count up to a point of 10, and while I count, you keep on increasing the tension. So exhale. Now start inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you do, keep on increasing the tension, and by the time of 10, you increase the tension to high tension. All right, so let us start again. Exhale. Increase the tension gradually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. Double exhale and relax. Again, gradually inhale through the nose, increase the tension, more, until your body vibrates. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Double exhale and relax. Once more, gradually increase the tension as you inhale. Increase the tension more. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Double exhale and relax. Okay. Now, keeping the body still, throw out the air, and as I count, inhale, hold, and exhale. So start with throwing out the air. Now start inhaling through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale through nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale through mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale through nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale through mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep the body still. You can do this 20, 20, 20, 6 to 12 times. Now, throw out all the breath. Now just wait and observe the breath as it comes in without controlling it. Just watch it. When it comes in, just watch it coming in. When it goes out on its own, just watch it going out. Do not let your mind wander away from the breath. Tie the mind to the breath. Let the mind do nothing but just watch the breath coming in and going out. So we'll do this for 3 minutes. Do not let the mind wander. If you find it wandering away from the breath, again bring it back. Just watch the breath and do nothing else with your mind. Just watch the breath coming in, going out. Do not control it. Do not let any other thought enter your mind. Observe the breath coming in, going out. You can do this as long as you want. The longer you do this correctly, the more peaceful you'll become. And even beginners, within a week, 2 weeks, or a month, will experience a deep state of peace if they do this correctly. And what happens is, because of this exercise of pulling back the mind again and again and placing it on just observing the breath, we develop immense control over thoughts. Our power of concentration increases tremendously. But it takes patience and regular practice. So do it. Now we're doing it only for 3 minutes, but do this 10, 15, or even 30 minutes. The more you do, the more you will enjoy it. Whenever you feel anxious, fearful, tensed, stressed out, practice this. Do this tension and relaxation. Do the 20-20 breathing and observe the breath for 10 minutes. You will find most of the time that whatever was bothering you has vanished and you're again very peaceful. So once you have calmed your mind by practicing this very simple pranayam, but very effective pranayam, hold on to the peace, hold on to the calmness, hold on to the stillness, mental and bodily stillness. And remaining in that state, then practice this visualization. So what to do in this? Keeping your mind calm, continue to look at the point between the eyebrows at the Kutastha center. And now visualize that the darkness which you see with your closed eyes is gradually getting filled with light. A light is appearing behind your closed eyes. It is a mellow golden light. And this is no ordinary light, but it is a light which is imbued with peace, with joy, and with love. And visualize, use your power of imagination. Visualize that this light is gradually taking the shape of a ball, a sphere. And using the power of imagination, keep expanding that bubble of light, just like you expand a balloon by blowing air into it. Use your imagination and expand the bubble of light. And feel that that bubble, that globe of light has become big, and it is now surrounding your body. You are sitting in this globe of light, this peaceful, mellow, joyous light. Expand it further. Let the light spread in the entire room where you're sitting, surrounding everything in the room, all the people sitting there, and all the objects. Your entire room is filled with that golden, mellow, joyous light. Expand it further. Now it has become big. It is now surrounding your entire house. Your entire house is surrounded with this light. Expand it further. Your entire colony now. All the houses, all the people, all the trees, gardens in your colony, they are bathed in this light. This mellow, golden, joyous, peaceful light. Expand it further. Use your power of imagination and feel that it is now rapidly expanding in all directions. It has encompassed your entire city, all the streets, all the buildings, all the landmarks in the city, everything. All the people are moving about, going about, doing their duties, but they are all in this light, bathed with this light. Expand it further rapidly and see now that this light is spread over whole of India, with the oceans on three sides, with the Himalayas to the north. The whole of India is now, this whole country is bathed in this light, golden light. Let it expand rapidly and let it now encircle, encompass the entire globe, our entire planet, with its blue oceans, with its green continents, and with dark space around it. Feel that the entire planet, with all its mountains and rivers and oceans and the myriad living creatures, they are all part of this light. They're all living and breathing this golden, joyous light. Expand it further, rapidly in all directions, above, beneath, left, right, all around. And see that light encompassing the moon, the planets, the entire solar system, expanding faster than the speed of light. The sun, the entire solar system, and now rapidly expanding. It goes beyond the solar system and is encompassing the entire galaxy. Millions of light years, billions of light years, with millions of stars and their planets, and this vast dark space in between. Everything is within this light. That is the omnipresence of spirit. The whole of the creation is the spirit's body. And just as we are omnipresent in our little body, the spirit is omnipresent in the whole of universe, in the whole of creation. So now just for a second, open your eyes and look at the small body. Close your eyes again and feel that vastness again. And affirm to yourself mentally, I am infinite. I am infinite light. I am infinite peace. I am infinite joy. Hold on to that feeling of calmness, of peace, which all of us experience. That glimpse of peace, that glimpse of vastness is our true nature. That is what the science of yoga tells us. And the more we practice meditation, go deep within, withdraw our mind into the higher centers, more and more throughout the day, we are connected with that ocean of peace, which is behind the wave of our human existence. And no matter what happens in our life, that connection always remains. Continuously giving us power, continuously giving us peace and joy and universal love. It is an infinite reservoir of peace and joy that never ends. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So that brings us to the close of this session from my side. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. I must say that simply with your words, you were able to take us beyond this body consciousness. And as promised, you could actually give us the glimpse of that nectar. We could all feel it, we could all experience it. There are people with me in this hall, and on the face of everyone, I can see that peace.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Swamiji, and we seek your blessings. We are starting a department of integrative medicine to integrate the traditional systems with the modern medicine, and we seek your blessings in this endeavor.
Pranam.
So now I will take up a few questions. There is a question, sir, what is the meaning of feminine and masculine nature balance, or how can we get it, the balance of feminine and masculine nature?
Yes, it's a very good question. I'll try to explain briefly. You see, even science now tells us that our left brain is the logical brain and the right brain is the holistic brain or the feeling brain. The logical brain breaks up things into small parts to understand a problem, whereas the right brain looks at a problem in its entirety. And that is like, it comes as a feeling. So, and it is also said that men in general, the left brain is more dominant, the logical faculties are more dominant. In women, the intuitive or the feeling aspect is more dominant. Now, so in a sense, that means each of us is neither man nor woman. And that is the truth. We are soul. We are a soul. And it has both qualities. And to play this drama of human life, in some souls, the feminine aspect is suppressed and we are born as men. And in some souls, the masculine part of our consciousness is suppressed and we are born as women. And apparently, in different incarnations, we may be different. In some incarnations, we are men. In some incarnations, we are women. And the yogic science says the reason for these many incarnations in male and female bodies is to teach us to ultimately understand that both of them have to work together. Neither can be dominant. There has to be perfect balance. And that balance is achieved when we are able to remove the prejudices in our mind. Unfortunately, right from our childhood, depending upon where we are born, what our family values are, what our societal values are, we are already pre-programmed. Certain prejudices and certain preconceived notions are pumped into us. So we cannot think freely. So it clouds our logic, it clouds our reasoning, it clouds our feeling. So when we are able to remove those prejudices by calming our mind, that helps to balance the feeling and reason. So, and most importantly, when we are able to, for men, when men are able to develop their heart center through the practice of meditation, which is a feeling center, then they achieve the balance. And when women are able to develop their logic center or will center, the kutastha, then they develop balance. So through the practice of meditation, when our different energy centers they awaken, that balance comes, and that balance is native to our soul. So it is not impossible for anyone. It is native to it is our birthright. We have to remove everything else which is disturbing that balance. And what is disturbing our balance? First of all, our physiology, man's physiology predisposes him towards reasoning. A woman's physiology predisposes her to feeling. But when we rise above body consciousness and forget that I am a man, I am a woman, and we are able to feel ourselves as pure joy, as pure love, then that balance happens.
There is another question. When I was looking up towards the center of eyebrows, there was a slight heaviness or stress. What could be the reason?
That is simply because our eye muscles are not used to being focused, being used in that way. Normally, we either look straight forward, or your sleep, our eyes go down on their own. So this position is not normal for us because we have forgotten how to focus here, how to meditate. But with time, when the eye muscles get used to it, that heaviness, that strain, that will disappear. It's just a matter of practice.
And Swamiji, when you remain in that state, there is a slight tendency for the head to move up or go back.
Yes.
So is it okay? One should allow that, or one should keep it straight?
One should keep the posture as straight as possible. That is why, especially in the beginning, and maybe for many months or even a few years, it is a good practice to once in a while open the eyes and check where my body is. Are my eyes looking, is my chin parallel? Are my eyes still looking up, or have they come down? Is my head going down or going back? Is my spine straight, or have I stooped, become like bent? So because because the body is not used to sitting in the meditative posture, it will deviate from the ideal posture, and more so in the beginning. So we have to keep correcting it.
And there are a number of questions. If the preliminary practice itself is able to give us so much joy, then people are really interested in learning Kriya Yoga. So yes. How they can learn Kriya Yoga, and what practices does it have? Some glimpse, if you can tell us.
I'll share one more slide with you. Can you see?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this, fortunately for us, this great Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda ji, he realized that he will not be in body all the time, and many souls will be wanting to know about Kriya Yoga and to experience the joy of meditation. So whatever he taught in his lifetime, he compiled them in the form of lessons. And the main activity, or the main duty of this organization is to keep those teachings pure and to disseminate these lessons in self-realization to all truth seekers. And you don't have to come to our ashram to learn. We send these by post. So if you want to know more about how to order these lessons, this is the link below, yssofIndia.org. Once you go there, you will get all the details. Now, what is given in these lessons? It is a very comprehensive, very detailed, but at the same time, a very simple explanation of the yogic science of Patanjali Yoga, and also of Vedanta, and also of Sankhya Yoga. So all the elements of these three yogas, Sankhya, Patanjali Yoga, and Vedanta, they are encapsulated in these lessons. That is the theoretical part of it. It gives you guidance on practically every aspect of life, right from meditation to the diet to principles for a happy married life, principles for success in any endeavor in life. So it is a comprehensive guide, lifelong guide for everything which you may encounter in this life's journey. But the foundation, but the main uniqueness of these lessons are the high techniques of pranayam and meditation that they teach to the student.
Swamiji, I will take the last question before we close.
Yes.
Guruji, why we hold our breath? What are the internal mechanics?
Why do we hold the breath? We never hold the breath.
We are not.
Oh, we only the 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, that is why we hold the breath. It is essentially, it is a method of oxygenating the blood. So you take in a lot of air and then you hold it so that there is an exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So it is a way of oxygenating the blood and removing the carbon dioxide and toxins from the blood. That is the reason. But we don't hold it for too long.
Okay. So thank you very much, Swamiji, once again.
My pleasure.
I request my colleague Sri Raksha to give vote of thanks.
I think Hemant sir has already enunciated the gist of it. I do not have much to say because we're all already sinking into that silence, Swamiji. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. And thank you for taking out your time and dedicating it to all of us here from your busy schedule. As a token of appreciation, we would like to present a memento to you from the Integrated Center of Medicine here. I would like to request Dr.
I can't hear you. I think, yeah, you're lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Swamiji, this is a small token of our gratitude towards you. And taking your address, we will courier it to you.
All right.
I request Raksha to collect it on your behalf.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Deeply appreciated. And thank you all for participating in this session. And I do hope that I have been able to evoke your interest in yoga and in meditation. As I said, yoga is essentially an experiential path. So please remember, it is not essential to read too many books, but take up one system of meditation and put it into practice regularly. So the power of these techniques is in the practice. So even 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but do it daily. If possible, do it every morning and evening, and you will see that your life will change. Your life will change. You will add a whole new dimension to your life, which you never thought existed. All right. Okay. Thank you. Pranam.